Okay, mic
Talking to
on.
some mother, can you hear me? Talking to some father, it gotta get better. It must be, it's got to be. God promised me.
This is Kimberly Kent, and I am in the studio, I know, on a Saturday, and I am never in the studio on a Saturday, but I have some very, very, very special people in the studio with me this evening. I want each of them to introduce themselves, starting with my grandson, Drew.
Hi, my name's Drew.
Next. Well, tell them how old you are and what school you go to.
I'm Sunny Heights, and I'm 7.
7 years old. Next.
My name is Anthony, and I go to Warren Central High School, and I'm 14.
All right. My other grandbaby. Say your name.
Adrian.
Adrian. How old are you?
5.
5. What school are you going to?
Juju.
Sunny Heights. And what grade?
Go.
Kindergarten.
Go.
Jordan, go ahead.
My name is Jordan. I go to Creston Middle School. I'm 13.
All right. Nyla.
My name is Nyla. I am 11 and I go to Creston.
All right. What grade?
6.
6. Jordan, what grade are you in?
8th.
8th. Caitlin.
My name's Caitlin. I am 11 years old and I'm going to I'm in Creston Middle School and I'm going to be in 6th grade with my twin brother.
Okay, but
I'll
you
be
know,
in the same class.
wonderful. Samuel, can you introduce yourself? Yes.
I'm 7 years old. I'm 11 years old. I'm a twin sister of Caitlin. And then I go to Creston and Charlie. I'm 6 years old.
6th grade.
I'm 6th grade.
Very
I'm
good.
in the same class with Caitlin now.
Now, check this out. We also have in the studio with us Radio Indie fans. First, let me remind you, go to www.radioindie317.com. You want to always go to our website and subscribe. There is so much new information. And speaking of that, we have Creation Evidence Expo coming up. We have all type of information about that with the podcast on our website. You're not going to know if you don't stay informed. www.radioindie317.com. Now listen, we have a very special person in the studio. So you heard some of my special people, but this person is very near and dear to my heart. My grandma. My grandma's in the studio, so I want her to introduce herself to Radio Land. Now, you may remember she has a show every morning from 6 to 6:30, What Grandma Says. Now, listen, if you got a grandma and she's speaking to you, you better hear what she's saying, all right? So I'm grateful to have my grandma in the studio with me. Grandma, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Grandma Perrin, Perrran, and I really am a grandma. I'm 90 years old. I have 5 children, 17 grandchildren, 42 great-grandchildren, and 10 great-great-grandchildren, and 1 on the way. Now, I think that makes me a grandmother. Don't you think that makes me a
I
grandmother?
think you qualify, Grandma. I think you qualify.
Okay.
Listen, she is out with us today. First of all, I thank God because of him. I was able to graduate today with a bachelor's in science, concentration of biblical counseling and equipping. So I am so happy. Of course, my group was the loudest group at graduation. They were very, very loud. So I thank God. But I'm also grateful just to have these little people in the studio with me. They wanted to know what I do. So remember, you can always download our app, Radio Indie. Download the app on your Android or Apple device. Now, I have a couple of questions for you guys, and I'm going to ask questions, and we're going to speak one at a time. Okay? You have to raise your hand because we want to make sure we get everybody. Okay? What is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Raise your hand. Caitlin.
Math.
Jordan. Nyla. Reading. Jordan.
Social studies.
Social studies.
Reading. Math.
Okay, so you know what? I want to talk about something. Is that okay? Can we talk about something? Is that okay? Thank you, Caitlin. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So listen, God created the heaven and the
Earth.
so he created,
Everything.
and the most important thing he created was.
Me.
So why did he make us so special? Why didn't he make two Kimberlys? Can anybody ask me that? Why didn't he make two Anthonys? Why not Anthony?
Because he wanted everybody to be their own unique self.
I like that word, unique. So basically, God created us to be our own unique self. So everybody look at your skin. We have all kind of different colors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very unique. What else did God create, Drew? Get the door.
He also
You have to open it.
he
Get up and open the door.
he did he created the earth.
He created the earth. What else did God create, Caitlin?
He created animals.
Animals. Okay, I have a question. And I want you guys to put your thinking caps on, okay? And then we're going to take a small commercial break. I want you to put your thinking caps on. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So God created everything, right?
Yes.
What is a good way that we can show God that we're grateful for the things he created? Put your thinking caps on. So can I give you an example?
Sure.
So when I go and buy you clothes, Anthony. When I buy you clothes, right? What is a way that you can show me that you're grateful for what I bought you?
Don't put them on the floor.
Don't put them on the floor. So what are some ways that we can show God that we are grateful for what he created for us? Drew.
Because if my mom or dad buy me toys, I don't try to break them.
Try to break them. Caitlin.
When you give me something, I clean up my room.
Clean up your room. Now listen, what does this do to God? It puts a smile on his
Face.
and it warms his.
Heart.
Okay. So what are some things that we do that make God sad? Put your thinking caps on. Sam, what's something that you do that makes God sad? Hurt his feelings. But what are things that you do that possibly hurt his feelings? Anthony.
Be respectful.
Being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Being disrespectful. Caitlin.
Not listening to somebody.
Not listening to somebody. Sam, what's something that you do that puts a frown on God's face?
Saying appropriate words.
Saying inappropriate words. Yes. Jordan, what is something that you do that makes God sad? Not doing what your parents tell you to do. Drew.
What it says that God's not real.
Well, that does make God sad. You know what? We're going to take a quick commercial break. I want everybody to put their thinking caps on, and I want you to tell me who is Jesus. Oh, you got to put your thinking caps on.
Okay.
You got to put your thinking caps on, okay? We're going to take a quick commercial break. Radioland, listen to these young people. There is knowledge with the young people. They retain more than we think. We always want to make sure we take time to educate our children and give them the greatest gift, which is God. Let's take a break.
Come on, everybody, put your hands together. It's got to get better. All over the world. Listen to these words. People come. People go. Your life has been out of control. You're confused. But don't worry. Your soul, it will get better. It's gotta get better. It will get better. It's gonna be better.
Okay, we are back. And of course, my son will be talking when I say mics are up. This is Kimberly, the CEO of Radio Indy. You may hear my voice on the journey, topics, and all over the place. But again, we are in with the children. We want to hear what the babies, well, they're not babies, but they're my babies. All of them are my babies, so they're going to be babies. Because I'm my mama and daddy's. Grandma, am I your baby?
You're my baby.
Did y'all hear that? I'm her favorite.
Oh my goodness.
Did y'all hear it? Yeah, okay, Radio Land, you heard me. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about this, guys. Why do we go to church? I want you to raise hands. I don't want people shouting out because I want to hear your answers. Nyla, why do you go to church? To learn about God. Okay. Anthony, why do you go to church? To sleep?
No.
Okay. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Why do you go to church?
To learn about why Jesus died on the cross for our sins.
Whoa. Okay. Wait a minute now. We done brought something else into the mix, okay? We got to go further with that, Caitlin, okay? But why do you go to church?
To learn about God.
To learn about God. Now, when we went on commercial break, I said, who is Jesus? Like I hear about him all the time. Who is he? Hands raised. Who is Jesus? Jordan.
God's son.
God.
Sat down to sacrifice himself for our sins.
Whoa. God's son that he sent down to sacrifice for our sins. Why do we need sacrifice? Why?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a good question, I know. Anthony.
Because he didn't want us to get punished, so he was gonna take everybody else's punishment.
Whoa. Oh, now let me give you an example. When I was little, and this is actually true, Uncle Paul did something wrong. Y'all know Uncle Paul, right?
Yeah.
So guess what I did?
Yeah, I tried to forget it.
You did. Him and Uncle Paul like to mess with each other. So listen, me and Uncle Paul did something wrong. So you know what I did?
What?
He was about to get a whooping, and I told my mom I did it.
So you can get the whooping, and he doesn't.
I took the whooping, and he did not. So listen to this. God said we are all wrong, right?
Yeah.
And Jesus said, wait a minute, I want to take the whooping.
No, I'll take it.
Jesus said, I want to take the whooping. Now, listen to this. We deserve the whooping. How many times have I promised you I'm going to whoop y'all?
Once.
Every time.
And what do I tell you when right, but what do I tell you when I don't whoop you? I'm giving you
Grace.
Because you deserve the whooping, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't give it to you. God said we deserve the whooping, period. And Jesus said, wait a minute, I'll take their place. I'll take the whooping. Now now listen, when I took Uncle Paul's whooping, you know what he gave me?
Wow.
He gave me some now laters, y'all. and Nana whoops hard, okay? I'm just saying she does. That wasn't worth it, but it was okay. So Jesus said, if I take the whooping for you, you got to do something for me. So Jesus said, camera. So Jesus said, if I take the whooping for you, you have got to do something for me. You have to do something for me, right? He took the whooping, right?
Yes.
He took the whooping, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did we deserve the whooping, right?
Yes.
Did we deserve the whooping?
No.
Yes.
Yes. God said we God said we deserve the whooping, right?
Yes.
So Jesus raised his hand and said what?
He's gonna take our whooping.
He's going to take our whooping. Hi, mama. He's going to take our whooping for us. So because Jesus took our whooping, shouldn't we do something for him?
Yes.
What's something we could do for Jesus to show him we're happy for taking our whooping? What's something that we could do for Jesus that will show him we're happy that he took our whooping? Caitlin.
Listening to our parents.
Wow, listening to our parents. Anthony.
Don't do something you're not supposed to be doing.
Don't do something you're not supposed to be doing. Drew.
Do your chores.
Do your chores. Say it for the one time. Jordan. Be respectful. Now listen to Sam.
Clean, do you supposed to do it, then you're going to get a kitten or a dog or fish, whatever.
No, you were right on the right path, though. Clean your room. Yep. You were on the right path, buddy. Now listen, remember, so guys, I'm going to say this to my children. You guys know how I feel when I come home and my bedroom's clean. How does that make me feel?
Happy.
Because you didn't have to do it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why we sing at church, because we're making God happy that he gave us his son to take our whooping. Thank you. Okay? So think about the things you can do in church. Jordan, Anthony, you're an usher. Jordan and Sam, you are deacons. Think about things you can do in church to show God that you're happy that he gave us Jesus to take our whooping. Okay? So, Radio Land, I got this beautiful baby in my arms, my grandbaby. Hi, Stink. She's just looking at me. But I want you guys to remember. Let's see. Let's do a recap. Let's see if we remember. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. God said we deserve a what?
Whooping.
All of us, right?
Yes.
What did Jesus do?
He raised his hand to take our whooping.
He raised his hand and took. Did he do it grumbling and complaining?
No.
He didn't do that, did he? Y'all, shoot, I'm tired of y'all messing up. Did he do any of that?
No.
He took the.
Whooping.
And how can we show? How can we show Jesus that we, Anthony, take her to Noel. How can we show Jesus? Hey, Stick. Y'all will never hear this in the studio.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, Taylor. So, where'd Drake come? So listen to this. We talked about Jesus took our whooping, right? Stay on task. Close the door, Sam. Jesus took our whooping, right? So guess what? We can show him our what? No. Come in here. Samuel. Sit down. Close the door. Sit down. I still got to be mama. Excuse me?
Why did I know?
Yeah, that's not making Jesus happy at all, is it? No. Okay. So listen, Jesus took our whooping, and we're going to show him how grateful we are by what? By being obedient, by listening, by doing all those things. And what are we going to do for God? When it's time to get up for church, do we get up for church?
Yes.
Yes.
We get up for church. When it's time to sing, we're on air.
Oh, you're on air?
Yeah. Close the door, baby. When it's time to stand up, when they say stand up and sing, we do what?
Stand up.
Because that's showing God, thank you for giving us your son. He didn't have to do that, did he?
No.
He could just say, forget it, I'm going to whoop him anyway. But did he do that?
No.
No, he did not. Grandma, you want to add something?
Well, you'll be listening to what I have to say about the gospel shortly, as Grandma Karen.
Drew. Okay. Amen. All right, y'all, we got to get out of here. I'm kind of hungry. I haven't eaten all day. So we're going to get out. We're going to get out of here and go to the luncheon that they have. I haven't even been over there yet. But Radio Land, thank you so much for tuning in with us. These are my babies and my wonderful grandma. So remember, tune in. We are 24/7 Radio Indie, empowering the community one show at a time. We also are the home of the independent artists. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Come on, everybody, put your hands together.